You probably know that you should have an optimized Google business profile, but what exactly does that mean? And how can having one actually grow your business? Well, stay tuned because we're about to find out. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Content Creators Unite, the show where we discuss all things content creation. So if you want to learn how to grow your business using your blog, newsletters, books, your website, and more, hey, you're in the right place. I'm your host, John Clements, and our guest for today's episode is Marilyn Jenkins. Marilyn is a seasoned digital growth strategist with a career spanning back to the early 1990s. As a founder of MJ Media Group and Law Marketing Zone, she specializes in all aspects of digital marketing, including paid advertising, SEO, Google Business Profile Optimization, reviews management, and database reactivation to drive your business's success. So, Marilyn, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
I am excited you're here today. So before we get into all the technical questions and Googling and whatnot, can you just share a little bit about your own background and kind of how you got how you got to do what it is you're doing?
Absolutely. I've been in IT for a very long time. Started my own IT technology business back in the 90s and helping friends who wanted a website. They knew they needed one. They didn't know why, but they needed one. Then, from referrals, that business grew. And then it was like, okay, now I have that. Now help me get traffic to it. So through the years, obviously seen a lot of algorithm changes, search engine changes, and that sort of thing. So keeping up with the times, and I just really enjoy helping small businesses grow and seeing and getting, understanding marketing and digital marketing and why they need it. So that's been real exciting.
Nice. Yeah. So let's talk about the excitement a little bit more. Can you dig a little deeper into that? Like, what is it that's so exciting about helping other businesses with their digital marketing?
Well, there's a lot of agencies out there that hide behind the numbers and jargon and that sort of thing. And that's what makes people afraid to get into digital marketing. They just don't understand it. You're a bakery, any sort of local business. That's what you do. You don't do tech. So I enjoy the explaining it and having my clients understand both sides of the what they need to be doing and what we're doing and understanding the process. And that, you see that light bulb moment come on when they understand and they start seeing the ROI, or they're having problems with the leads and we explain why and what to expect. So with what we've done with our clients, and we've had some great success with clients. And again, it's when both sides work together. And my mission is to help 500 businesses triple their revenue in the next 3 years.
Yeah, that's great. And by the way, I did cheat a little bit. I looked at your website before we talked. And if, as a listener, you're wondering, like, can she really do this? The answer is yes, because she has an entire page of client testimonials. There's probably 20 of them on there. And you can go hear from her own clients how they're improving, their revenue based on what she's doing. So that's not just like a pie in the sky thing you're working on. That's like a legit goal that you're going to hit.
Absolutely. I was just giving you a little bit of information earlier about a new client we have. She had worked with an old client years ago. She came on after having worked with another agency and got zero ROI. She was really concerned about how she was going to renew and that kind of stuff and was worried, but she knew how well we worked with our other clients. So our first month, we got her $89,000 in revenue. That was 23 cases, and that was enough to literally change the direction of her company.
Yeah, you bet. I think you mentioned she paid you 4,000 and got 89,000 in return. I don't know what the numbers are, but that's a lot.
Yeah, it's
A
close
lot
to
of that.
28. So that was, yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah, well, that's wonderful. So you mentioned part of the joy of what you do is helping people have that light bulb moment, and I'm hoping that's what we can do here today in our conversation because it's exactly your point. Like when I go and try to learn about marketing and digital marketing, there's so much that's like technical and jargon. And that's kind of one of the reasons I started this podcast is because I don't like, I want to just understand it in like plain English. And I want my listeners to be able to understand that too. So we're going to talk about Google Business Profile today. And I guess my first question is just like, why is it important? Like, why should I even care about my Google Business Profile?
that's a great question. It's something a lot of people ask. So let me answer that question with a question. What do you do when you're out taking a walk and you decide you want a pizza and you're not familiar with the area?
Well, I Google pizzerias in my area.
That's right. Exactly. You use Google. And yet that is what you're looking at is their Google business profile telling you where they are and what they do. It's like a business directory, but that directory is what feeds the maps.
Okay, right. Yeah. So when I'm bringing up my, you know, iPhone or whatever, and I'm typing in local restaurants near me, and then the map comes up. So you're telling me that Google Business Profile, that's actually where that information comes from?
Yes, there's
No.
three main pushing factors that make that where they land on the map, depending on where you're standing. Is that's location and relevance, and obviously the type of thing you're looking for in the category. So they if you're really good and as your Google Business Profile, within just a couple of blocks, you're going to be one, two, or three, depending on where they are in relation to your business.
Okay. So then does that make your Google Business Profile like more of a local SEO tool, or like say you have a business that isn't so much reliant on local SEO, is it still important to set up your profile for those people as well?
I think it's important to set up your profile. Yes. But it's designed to be a local SEO thing, right? They are using Google are using the Google Business Profile to populate the maps. And, just to kind of make it a little bit more clear, um, a lot of businesses are interested in posting on Instagram and posting on Facebook because someone told them they needed to 3 times a week, right? Well, any of your posts, you're going to get out to maybe 10% of your audience. That's just how Facebook does it. Okay. However, Google, if you think of it almost like a social media platform, they are the number one search engine in the world and they own YouTube, which is the second. The reason that they are one and two is the user experience, right? So they want to make sure that all of their clients, Google Business Profile, ads, all of this stuff, are helping with that user experience. And by you giving them more and more information about your business, you're telling Google with every piece of information you give them what searches you're relevant for. So then I ask you this. If you know that telling Google more about your business is where people are searching when they're looking for you, so your potential new clients are searching there, and by you telling Google more, you'll show up in more searches every time somebody searches for you. Or on Facebook, you get 10% of your audience to see your fun posts. I, it's Google is obviously the answer. I want to be in front of the people that are looking for me.
I like how you phrase that too, because again, yes, it seems it's definitely has local SEO applications, but to your point, it's still going to help you get in front of more people, regardless of where your clients may or may not live.
Right.
Okay, cool. So let's say that I come to you and say, okay, Marilyn, like you sold me, I want a Google Business Profile. How do I do it? Like, can you just at a high level kind of explain like what's the process even look like to get that going?
Well, the easiest thing to do is just go to Google and type your business name in. Just that. And it should give you a pop out to the side with a picture of your business or a map of your business if you've never claimed it, and then the details of your business. So if you have not claimed it, but you see it, you can see claim this listing as a link there and claim it, verify it, which is right now, most people are having to do a video to verify that they own the business. And you get a video of yourself walking in, unlocking the door, going inside, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
Um, and then once you get verified, you'll get notification you're verified and you start uploading videos and photos and filling out everything to tell Google exactly who you are, what you do, and what kind of client you want.
Nice. And I assume, I mean, I've done it, but it's been a while, so I can't quite remember. I assume that the forms kind of guide you through what you need to populate.
They do. There's with the Google Business Profile, there's now a more of a management portal inside. And I would say it's gorgeous, but everybody's is different. They don't roll something out across the board. They roll it out globally. Okay. They slowly roll it out. So some of the people have the new very visual and graphed type things. Some have the older, more text and icon based. But yes, there is a portal where you can click and go and fill on this information out.
Okay. And I think, no, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe if someone was looking for a little more help, a little more detail about how to do that, I think you might have written a book about this. Is that correct?
I did. I
Yeah.
did. I wrote the Google Business Profile Training Guide,
Excellent.
and this is available on Amazon under my name, Marilyn Jenkins. And it is a step by step walkthrough of how to start, claim, verify, and then optimize your Google Business Profile. Because think of your user experience. You want to be putting something on your Google business profile every week. You want to respond to reviews. You want to ask questions and answer. And I've had businesses say, well, why would I ask a question and answer it? Isn't that for customers or potential customers? Every business that I know of has an FAQ. So we suggest that every week you respond to reviews and you add an FAQ. And then go one step further and you can put in the Google Business Profile upgrades are products and services. And you can add photos with those as well as posts, like think blog posts.
Mm-hmm.
You could put your blog posts there that are keyword rich that link back to your website. So SEO wise, that would be great. Blog posts actually, or the posts on your Google Business Profile roll off in 6 months. So if you're putting like one a month on, and when we do the service for our clients, we do one a week. So they're constantly rolling through, and you've got 24 posts that are on your Google Business Profile consistently.
Okay, so it sounds to me, actually, so I do have a Google Business Profile, but apparently I need to do some work on mine because I didn't know some of this stuff.
There's some new things.
Yeah, new things. So it sounds to me though, like if you have a pretty good website presence already, what I'm hearing is there's a lot of information that you could just literally just dump into your Google Business Profile. Is that correct?
Exactly. And if you're already doing blogs, right? I heard you talk about, the content creators. If you've already got this content, create an image, right? And name it your business name or keywords or whatever, and put it as a post. And you imagine that's a high domain authority, google.com linking back to your homepage. That's pretty impressive.
Oh,
And you
that is
do
pretty
that.
cool.
Yeah. And think about, you do that once a week. You've got 24 all the time that are rotating and always new. So the posts alone is a really, really good way. And keep in mind that everything you're doing, you're telling Google the more searches that you're relevant for. So maybe a post this week will be one of the services you offer. A post next week might be a product. And then you can also put that information in products and services. So the more you tell it, the more you're going to show up in the searches. And that's where your customers are.
Yeah. So what a great, so I interview a lot of people on this podcast and no one has ever brought that tip up to me. You're the first person to talk about this. And as someone with a blog, that's information that I need to know because
Yeah.
I'm missing out on opportunities because I didn't know. So thank you for bringing that up.
Absolutely. And your categories are one of the higher level, easy things that you want to do. In some areas of the country, and some, there's like 3 to choose from. Most people that I'm talking to nationwide, there's like 7 to choose from. So what you want to do is like be super clear. Like I'm saying, if you're a law firm, you don't want to choose lawyer law firm. Okay. If you're a construction person, you don't want to say construction. If you look down in the categories, there's more specifics. There might be kitchen remodeler. Okay, is that something you do? Then I would say that would be first. So choose, if you look at all the categories that apply to your business, which one do you want the most business for? Make that first. Okay. Don't be generic. Try not to choose the generic category, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Fill it up with details and the things that people would search for. Like people would search for kitchen remodeler near me. I would choose kitchen remodeler.
Yeah, I like that. And you can actually, I mean, you're the expert, but just in the conversations I've had, you can even do a little bit of that kind of research by just Googling things yourself and see what comes up. So it doesn't have to be like some kind of technical thing. You can just spend a half an hour and go, what would I search for? And do I come up?
Yeah. And also keep in mind that if you are in your office or your business and you search for yourself or your keyword near me, you're always going to come up number one.
Yeah.
So let's be realistic and step away. Go 2 or 3 blocks away and do the search.
Yeah. Or I've got a VPN. I can do it from anywhere in the world if I want.
There yet. That's another way of doing it. But I've had people saying, I don't need help with my Google Business Profile. I'm already number one. Where are you? Standing right beside my cash register.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I'm number one in my business location. Good. That's amazing. I love all these tips because the thing I love about this, as we mentioned, is you're not using jargon. You're not making it some kind of like gatekeeper situation where only the genius can do this. Like everything you said, like I feel like I can do, and I'm not a technical guy. I just can log in and I can start doing this stuff. You've made it accessible to me. And so that's really cool. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. And I want people to understand your Google Business Profile is a free feature that Google is offering. And let's be real, they're doing it for themselves, right?
Yeah.
The more data they have, the more good data they can serve. So it's a win-win for both sides. I have some clients that just don't have the time or the expertise to do it on their own. So we handle it for them. But it's something you can do. And if it's something you want to do on your own, again, I have the book that can walk you through it. You can do it in 10, 15, 20 minutes a week. Just do something. Keep in mind, engagement shows Google that you're interested in the user experience. You're engaging. And if your competition is a franchise or a big conglomerate kind of thing, location, they're not doing this. They're not updating your Google Business Profile. So you can easily take over their spot if they're number one.
Oh, interesting. Fascinating. Hadn't thought about that either, but I bet, yeah, I am sure you're right. So let me ask you this question then, because this is such good information, and it sounds like it's something that people can do for themselves if they want, or they can reach out to someone like you, who can, do the expert job for them. Are there any other costs that would be associated with optimizing your business profile?
No.
No?
No, I mean, the profile itself, it's free. You need to verify it. And it used to be they would send a postcard with a code in it, right? They don't do that anymore. What we're seeing is there's like 6 or 7 options, but they choose the option to verify. And almost exclusively for the past 6 months, we've only seen video verification. So, be super clear and read the instructions before you get started so that you can hopefully submit your video and get it approved right away. The Google Business Profile is the one place on Google where you can actually talk to a human. You interact with a human, whether it's text or chat, but they're real people there that are helping these businesses. That's how important it is to Google that you get your Google Business Profile set up and optimized.
Oh man, so good. Yeah, I didn't know any of this stuff. I'm so glad you came on today. And the thought of being able to talk to a real life person instead of a chat bot, that like, all right, well, now I'm more interested in doing this because I don't, yeah, I would much rather just talk to the person.
Yeah. And it is a way because sometimes you'll maybe submit your video that's a little bit too long or you're not covering the right things. Again, I cover that. I help with that information as well. But you've got to be able to get from the sign through the front door to private areas of your business in 90 seconds. So you got to think it through before you do it. And it's a one take job and you do it in the Google Business Profile app on your phone. So you open your Google Business Profile on your phone, you go to that, you record it and upload it one shot. So you want to think it through and be prepared. Test it a couple of times to make sure you're within the time limits so that you can get it uploaded and get it done quickly.
Nice. Great. Yeah, I think when I did it, it might have been the postcard approach. So the video's new, but that's good information to know. There's another piece of information. I know that when you get into your Google Business Profile, it also tracks all kinds of things.
Mhm.
And I know for a guy like me, a lot of times when I get into whether it's Google Analytics or, the Bing equivalent, and I'm just overwhelmed with charts and data and lines and graphs, and I don't even know where to start. So like if I'm just getting set up and I go in and I see all this data or maybe a blank page and I have to populate it myself, like what are a couple of metrics that you would recommend looking at or tracking or just even being aware of?
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, data is the one thing that we can get over immersed in and we just get confused and walk away. And that's the other thing that I want to make sure that people that I work with understand. You want to look at your management portal, go to insights, and you can see very clearly charts how often you're showing up, but there's numbers there. So you can see how many times did people click on the directions to your business? How many searches did you show up in? How many searches were you clicked on? How many times did they go to your website? And how many phone calls did you get from your Google Business Profile? Phone calls, directions, and page visits are the 3 biggies. Phone calls, obviously, most important because if people are interested, they call you. That's a hot lead, right? They're already in the top of the buyer's pyramid. They know they have a problem. They're looking to solve it. So according to the Better Business Bureau, 67% of phone calls to local businesses go unanswered. Imagine how much your business could grow if you had all those phone calls answered. But that's in the back where you can see all of those insights. And we suggest when you get started, say you just now taking advantage of it, you've already claimed your Google Business Profile, but even if you've never done any work on it, go to your insights and get a baseline. Do a report for today. And that way, now that you're starting to do things, reply to reviews, post things, that kind of thing. As you start doing these things, then you can run a report once a month and you can see what you're doing. We do this report for our clients. We give them access to real-time data so they could look at it on a Saturday afternoon when they're watching a football game, or they can wait till the end of the month and we send them a report. But
Yeah.
you have access to it anytime.
Yeah, I think I'm fairly certain that I get an email with that information once a month from them as well. So I'm glad that what you said lines up with the information they're sending me.
It is, and I believe what you can do is you can turn on or off. That's the notification. So
Mhm.
you, by default, if you've never turned it off, you should be getting a monthly email.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain I do. That sounds really extremely familiar to me. Well, this has been amazing, and there's so much value here. And again, the fact that we can talk about it just in plain language is, I think, what's so helpful about it. But as important as that is, I also want to spend some time just getting to know you a little better because this is just as important, right, as relationships. So I'm going to assume that you have good boundaries in place in your life, and you're not working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're at least taking a little bit of time in your day for some fun. So what do
Yes.
you do for fun? Yeah, what do you like to do?
I get outside. I really enjoy getting outside. I usually walk on the beach for about an hour a day. And then every couple of weeks, a bunch of girlfriends get together and we play cards and just talk. It's just that kind of thing. And then, it's a lot of getting outside. I enjoy time outside and then visiting with friends, mostly on Zoom because I do travel a lot. And that's what really kind of charges my batteries is traveling, seeing new things, seeing new places and learning new languages.
Nice. Is there a particular spot on earth that is your favorite place to go to?
It's a little I think it's a little cliche, but one of my favorite cities is Paris. But
Nice.
I do like almost anywhere in Europe. But I just spent 3 weeks in Paris this August, which was really nice.
Well, I'll tell you what, my daughter is going to be extremely jealous when I tell her that. She really wants to go to Paris.
It's lovely. It's I like it. I like to stay just outside the city and it's so easy to get around that yeah, Barcelona, Madrid, they're both amazing.
Nice. Yeah. So do you speak at least, somewhat conversational French and Spanish then?
Um Spanish, yes. French, I need to be in the country for about a week before it actually comes back. But yeah,
Nice.
it's one of those I spend more time in Spanish speaking countries. So when I go to France, it does take a little bit of time to kind of get it together. But I try to spend a few weeks in France every year.
That's awesome. As I mentioned, I think before you hit the record button, I did study Spanish. It's extremely rusty. I used to know it pretty well, but boy, I tried to learn French after having learned Spanish. That's a tough gig, man. So I commend you for that.
It's amazing that I took French in high school instead of Spanish. So to spend so much time in a Spanish speaking country, and then of course when you go to Italy, I don't speak Italian, but I revert to Spanish just out of habit,
Mhm.
and I get exactly what I want where they don't speak English, and it's crazy to me. But they're the three Romance languages. They're so similar. Many things are similar. So.
Yeah, for sure. So you've done a lot. You've been active for a very long time. You've traveled the world over. Is there a lesson or like a piece of wisdom or life advice that you've learned in your journey? It could be work related, could be life related, that you could share to our audience to just help them, just be that much better of a person moving forward?
I think it kind of it's interesting. I think just believe in yourself because so many times we don't. It's that imposter syndrome kind of thing going on. And I think if I had just done it, just believed in myself and took the stand that I wanted to take, took the steps earlier, I'd be so much further along. So I'd say, if whatever you're going to do next doesn't land you on the street without a house, take the step. Stop waiting. Believe in yourself and move forward. You can do this.
I agree. I mean, yeah, I feel like if I can do the things I've done, and who am I, just a guy, then yeah, you absolutely can do the things that you want to do.
Yeah. And, if you're in a bad situation, don't keep waiting. What do they call it? Bad news doesn't get better with time. If you're in a bad situation, just get out of it. Just stop trying to figure out a way of making it easy. Just go.
Yeah, I know for me personally, I was in a job and a career I did not like, and I waited 5 years too long, and I don't have too many regrets in my life, but that is one that I do regret. I wish I would have, yeah, like you said, gotten out sooner and believed in myself sooner.
Yeah, because I think on the other side, it's like you look back and go, "This wasn't as hard as I thought it was," and I kept saying, "Let me wait until this works itself out." There's another job. There's another direction your business can go in. Just do it.
Absolutely. Just do it. Just do something.
Yeah.
So, Marilyn, been a wonderful conversation, and I know there's going to be people out there that are going to want to get a hold of you, learn more about you, connect with you. How can they do that?
The easiest way is you can reach me on LinkedIn, and we can chat. You can see a lot. Now, I work with local businesses and law firms, so a lot of my marketing and branding is to law firms. All of this is the same effect for a local business. So you can find out a lot more about me at Law Marketing Zone and .com, lawmarketingzone.com, or mjmediagroup.co.
Cool. And we will have links to all those in the show notes, so you can just click on them and get in contact with Marilyn. So, Marilyn, again, just thank you so much for the wonderful conversation. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. It's been lovely to be here. Thank you.
Great. And for our listeners, if you enjoyed our discussion today, which I know you did, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. I go out and I find these amazing experts who can teach us things that we just absolutely did not know before. And how amazing is that? So, again, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. And with that, hope you have a great day. We'll see you next time on the Content Creators Unite podcast.